going on, folks? So we are still in quarantine, of course. So we're finding all sorts of things to catch up, do a bunch of stuff in the shop. Today, Cass and I are going to bang a bunch of studs.
Good first for me.
We're actually going to do a lot more than that, but anyway, we'll roll the intro. You'll understand. You may or may not remember I did a ride in Johnstown the other day. I actually lost a couple lug nuts, completely ovaled out a rim, and destroyed a couple studs. So I went and got a rim from Dirty Life to replace it. And I also dropped off the rim and tire over at Pete Sales and Service. They swapped it out for me. So I'm good to go again. I'm just gonna change out all my studs on my machine. They're a little worse for wear. I had to steal lug nuts from other tires to put on the one tire and just kind of get me home and limp me out of the day. And so now I'm just gonna go through it and bang them all out and get that done. We also have a bunch of other stuff to do on Cass's machine. Stuff that we've been kind of holding off, and obviously we're stuck at home now, so we have all sorts of little things to do. You ready to bang a stud? I am. With this hammer. Just gonna really get in there and just nail that stud.
I'm not encouraging this type of behavior.
This is premium quarantine content. So basically, I've got an e-brake on. We're good. So what happened was on the trail, I don't know exactly what happened, but I started losing lug nuts. I tried tightening them up again, and for whatever reason, they just wouldn't stay tight. So what happened at the end of the trail was I was ending up stealing lug nuts from other tires to put them on here, try to hold things together while I went home, and I still wasn't easy on it on the way home. So I got a bunch of damage to my studs. I got a bunch of damage to the rim that I already swapped out. It ovaled out the holes really bad. So I got a bunch of studs from Pete's, and we're literally just gonna swap them all out, and it's super easy. Loud noises. Dog, don't get hit, please. And you just put the new one in.
Nice.
There's only, so on this side, you basically slot it back through. There's a lot of ways you can put it in. Ideally, you would press it. I'm not going to. I grab an old lug nut, put a couple of washers, and I actually draw the new stud back in, and that's pretty much it. I do that for 3 corners. Where it really starts to change is some of the brakes have to be removed in order to do this. Because the actual rotor's in the way, so the brake disc. I mean, there's not much to it. That's the current job. We're gonna get that done and then move on to the Kodiak. You just slide the new stud in from the back. You grab an old socket or lug nut, and you literally just go over it. Put that on, and you just start drawing it through. And it'll start drawing in. Well, e-brake would help.
Do you want me to go hold the brake? Oh yeah, you have one of those.
Yeah, an e-brake.
We use a zip tie on mine.
So you just keep drawing it in, and when it gets too far, all you got to do, because these lug nuts will only go so far in, is just put a couple of washers, random washers you've got, put them over the thread. And that'll give you enough to sink it all the way home. Again, this isn't the best way you could be doing it, but it's certainly a way you could do it. If you want to do it on the trail, You know, if you just so happen to blow a stud, you're at an event or whatever, this is one of your options. But a press is the more professional way to do it, let's say.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. So, with the new studs, I'm not sure what initially caused my lug nuts to come off because I did torque and all that stuff. Everything was good. That's the first time I've ever actually lost a lug nut. So with that being said, I'm not sure what caused it. We're doing new studs, you saw that. We also got brand new lug nuts from Dirty Life. M10 by 125. And the thing that's different about these with the EFX rims and a lot of aftermarket rims is this is a 14 mil nut, where normally it comes with a 17. These are stock ones here. So that's what you would get. So they're a lot beefier in body, but the thread's the exact same. The only difference between these threads and any other Can-Am machine is the side-by-sides get an M12. So yeah, I kind of wonder if it's these aftermarket lug nuts, but I don't want to shoot blame randomly all over the place. So we're just going to put some new ones on, all new, and get them torqued nice and proper like. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but a while back I was blowing studs because Can-Am was recommending 72 foot-pounds on their studs, and that made no sense to me. I was breaking studs like crazy. They were way over torqued. So I suggested to everyone to do around 60, 65 max foot-pounds, and since then Can-Am has put out a message saying that they should be around 60 foot-pounds. A lot of books for 19 and 20 are saying 59 foot-pounds. I've seen 61 or 62 at Can-Am, so definitely I would float around the 60 mark and take a look at your books because they've been updated. But if you see 70 plus foot-pounds, that's not right. That's wrong. So yeah, we're just going to make sure that's all done, and we can wrap this machine up and it's good to go. We'll boot it out the door and pull in Cass's bike. My little helper.
It's too dark.
It helps to use the actual extension and socket.
You're right. Not even getting it in.
Well, you put it in the socket and then
This
go
is for
it.
all you people out there. He's explaining that.
Yeah.
I knew this. This is a setup.
Yeah,
That's
right,
what it
right.
is. Yeah, we talked about this off camera.
Cass is switching out all my lug nuts.
It's still in it.
Yeah. You got a feel for it, Cass.
It's not usually my job. Okay. I should be going in a star pattern. Anyways, this is what,
Not for this part.
Here we
Really appreciate you being here. You know, it's good. Getting
Is
her
there
done.
something else you could do while I, do this? And it,
Well, you wanted to help, and I mean, that's the only job going on right now. So
I'm so-
you're on your third lug nut. We've been doing this for a minute and a half. If you can do it under 2 minutes, I'll be proud of you.
Okay.
But there's no chance, so let's go for 3 minutes.
I'm going. Where's the gun? Drill, I mean. Impact. Whatever.
No. No, you don't slam them on with that. We're going to use a torque wrench.
You use this.
To take them off, sure. After I crack them.
So where's the torque wrench? It's not even out yet. That's not fair.
I do appreciate you.
Where is it?
Right there. Red box.
See, I'm helping. It's heavy. This is an old one? No, that's not.
Does that look new, Cass?
Do you look new?
Can you set that to 60 foot-pounds? That's the wrong part. That ring you were just twisting, you pull down on and you twist the whole handle at the bottom.
Almost there. Don't.
So, is it 60?
Yep.
Okay. Not that one. So you're going to take that extension and 14 mil socket. You're going to put this on it. That's half
Because
inch.
this is a 1/4 inch drive and that's a half
No, that's
inch.
3/8.
Shit.
That's half inch. And that's a converter.
Good?
Yep. Now you go across.
NASCAR speeds.
Yeah, you're up there.
I should apply for like a pit job.
7 minutes. And done. 7 minutes and 2 seconds.
Woo!
Okay, now clean all the tools. Just kidding. Can I do the other 3 though?
So it's been 9 minutes and you don't even have the lug nuts off.
I already have a tire done and it's been 30 seconds.
Not done. The new ones are right here.
I've got the new ones right there, thank you.
Oh, so these
They're
are
already on.
for the other. No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Are they actually?
Yes.
I was coming here to make fun of you.
Yeah, well.
Well, that didn't work.
Paid by the hour, sweetheart.
Damn. I used to be paid by the hour. I'm just kidding. Damn. Like legit, you started when I walked over to get the camera. And it's been 49 seconds at this point.
And I'm done 2 tires.
Under a minute if you've, yeah, you're done? Oh, man. Are you scared? You hiding? Yeah. Boop. Sniffing? You got goobers on the lens.
Okay, and we're back. It's actually another day. I had to fire Cass because she's too slow working on stuff. But we got a few more things to do. We got that done now. So all the studs are changed. Everything's hunky-dory, properly torqued, the whole bit. So that's good. And with that, we have some stuff for Mama Bear. So Dirty Life got us this core a while back and I never installed it. So this is the inner core, like a quiet core. They had another predecessor to this, which they discontinued. It was a quiet core for the original Mud series designs for the RJWCs, but this one is right out of a Crossflow, and we're able to put that in the Mud edition. The bike's too loud, like way too loud, 10 decibels louder than my twin. So we're gonna switch that out, put that in, see if we can quiet it down. The last tuner I had in it, I didn't secure very well, and apparently it rattled to death, so we have to replace that. Because we're doing some maintenance today, I have to reseal some stuff like the air box, because you know, I check the filter, clean it, do all that kind of stuff, then I have to reseal it, make sure she's watertight. One of the problems that we had, I think happened, is we had some water in the fuel. One of the trapping series videos that we did a while back, the Kodiak was not happy about water in the fuel, so that's what was going on there, I believe. So one of the things that I found was the breather in here for the tank, which I thought was good enough, apparently is not. So we're going to install a new hose, run it all up, and I have these fancy clips that basically you crimp on. These are much better. They're kind of like a boot clamp from an axle. These things are fantastic. You get the right one and clamp it down right, and these things are watertight. So we're going to get to that. Lots of little things, eh? You know, you got to keep up on these machines. While I'm at it, do a little inspection. I don't suspect I'll find anything too bad. One thing I did already find was one of my radiator hoses was rubbing a little bit, so I have some barbecue mat from the hardware store, and I cut it up and I'll protect that hose a little better. Yeah, and then just try to get some of these little cobwebs and clean her up, and we'll plan a little ride shortly. Nothing too crazy because of this quarantine stuff, but we'll get at her. Just to give you an idea of how loud the Kodiak is right now. Way too much. So let's get to work. Way too loud. So we got to get the tuner in there. We got to get the new crossflow quiet core in it. Bunch of work. Figured I would do it outside. It's beautiful out. A lot of our snow's almost gone. Last year, like, this is April 6th or 7th or something like that, but last year April like 11th we had a huge snowstorm, so this year is going much better as far as getting rid of the snow. So okay, lots of work. Okay, first up, I've already got a video on this. This is your Kodiak RJWC blinky box. This is what tunes your fuel to get it in a much better zone. So you have to get your injector wire above the throttle body there, and you basically put this in between, so whatever your ECU is communicating, this interrupts, rejigs, and sends into the injector. So we're gonna get that on. If you want to know more details, obviously just go check out the video for it. I don't really want to waste your time. There's already a whole series on it, so we're gonna get that on first. So we've got the tuner done. Now what we're going to do to quiet it down a little more, this is the old quiet core I was telling you about. I have it here for testing purposes. I was testing a bunch of decibel levels on a whack of different variety of RJWC pipes. This old one's discontinued. They don't even make this anymore. In our testing, it lowered decibel levels somewhere around 2 to 3 decibels. Not that big of a difference. You could barely really even tell. This one's obviously a lot more hardcore. This is the crossflow insert, and it's basically a baffle. And what it does is it removes a lot of that free flow, which is technically reducing power a little bit. Not a big deal, but we got to lower some decibel levels big time, so this is the way to do it. On top of that, we got, this is the spark arrestor, which, believe it or not, actually helps in lowering decibel levels. We're going to try that out with it. So the combination of this and Kaz's RJWC should definitely knock out a few decibels. I'm hoping for upwards of 10. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but if we do, it'll be a lot more smooth. Okay, so the blinky box is back in. We've got the quiet core in with a spark arrestor, the new quiet core. It took a lot of the bite out, definitely. Certainly dropped a few RPM, especially under load, but it's actually pretty reasonable now. It's still very loud, don't get me wrong. Much smoother. Much smoother, so very happy with that. It's not backfiring or doing anything like that. It's very happy with the way it's set up right now, so I'm glad we took a bunch of the bite out. So if you have a mud edition, not the new crossflow, and you want it quieter, you can actually get that core. Just hit up Trevor at dirtylife.ca and get that done. It's an option for you. I find it much better than the old quiet core, which I argue didn't do a whole lot. Much better. So now I got to seal this air box. I checked the filter one time, and every time you check the filter, I have this all sealed with silicone, so I'll have to reseal that. I'm probably going to give this a wash because the outside obviously gets washed a lot more than all of this, so it'd be nice to just clean that up a little bit. I know it's just going to get dirty tomorrow, but you got to try and care a little bit, right? I'm sorry I fired you.
You didn't. I was busy.
Yeah. You're fired.
What? Fired up. Hey.
You're hired again. You see what I've been doing?
Yeah, taking control? No, I haven't.
So, I got the new tuner in.
Oh jeez. I'm about to break
All secured up. I got that core in I was showing you. It sounds...
It's already in?
Yeah. Well, it takes 2 seconds.
I need to shine that up.
Yeah, you do. We're gonna wash all of this stuff, I think. But now I gotta re-silicone your cover and all that. There's quite a bit of work, and all the snorkel stuff. It's not often I get to see it again, but it's all routed up. There's quite a bit in there. Not the hardest job, but takes some time anyway. But now we got to seal that up. I got to fix a hose and yeah, just do some inspection on some of the breathers and stuff. I think it has like a pressure detector for the gas tank. If it gets hot and over pressurizes, I think it opens it up, and I think that's how water got in once.
That makes sense. These used to catch fire all the time because the gas tank used to be right by the exhaust.
Huh?
Something like that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Don't quote me.
You don't even know if that's true.
No, I saw it in a bunch of forums. I
yeah, that means it's definitely
didn't retain a lot of what I read. So I don't know. There used to be a problem. Now it's not. So
do I get back to work or what?
I don't know. It's a nice day. The wind came out, so I'm double plaiding it, I guess. The neighbors just down the road there, you can see they're side by side coming up to the road. They have a long driveway and they're just going back and forth. Then back here we have, like, I don't know, he's 4 or 5 years old and he's riding his little 90cc, I don't know what kind of ATV it is, but you can see him going up and down the driveway.
It's a DS90.
DS90, yep.
Can-Am.
So everyone's kind of got their machines, but we're all, you know, following the quarantine and whatnot. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so just checked and cleaned the air filter, and I have silicone run around the whole box, re-siliconed the adapter, and that's to the 2 intakes on that side. I checked all of these out, they're good to go. So that's sealed again, got to let that dry. And I checked out, I theorize there's a vent here, and it basically circulates, and it's from the gas tank, and it comes out to this guy here. And what I think this does is relieves pressure in the gas tank, and this hose just runs down wide open right here. So what I want to do, because I think that at some point that opened up and let water into the gas tank and caused a lot of our issues, so I want to see if I can eventually just delete that somehow. There's little ways of getting around all that, but for now I'm going to relocate that hose down here that's wide open and run it up the machine to the snorkels, and I think we'll do much better that way, because I think this was one of our problems last time. So that's the no, that's not the last job. I got to go and fix that hose down there, and what I'm doing for that is one of these great little tricks that I have. It's not that it's new, but I bought barbecue mat. This is a mat you literally lay underneath your barbecue, and it's like a texturized rubber. So I always cut out chunks and I can wrap it around the hose and zip tie it. And I use it all the time to protect stuff. So it works really, really well. And that's what I'm going to do to that hose. And then we're all done. The machines are ship shape.
Yeah.
Ready for a rip.
I just saw a side-by-side pull in next door and I'm like,
yeah, we'll find a way to get out. We have to be careful and all that, of course. The clubs and OPP and everything like that, they're trying to get people to stay home, of course, which you should definitely be doing. So maybe we can find some trouble in the backyard. We have more than enough property to do something with, and we'll get them dirty.
It's right now, so like,
yeah, find some trouble.
Get those gator waders back on.
Yeah, so we'll get all that dried up and cleaned, and yeah. So, a couple tools that you might want to consider. There's always a million ways to do things. Proper hose cutters, very cheap, and they do a very great job. They cut nice and straight, so they're nice and flush. That way you get a nice clean cut. When you buy these hoses, they're always on angles and all sorts of stuff. You just want to make sure that's right. So that's a great tool. Hose cutter, Napa, whatever your parts store is, they'll have one for sure. That's for like coolant hoses and stuff, but it works very good. This is the clamp I was telling you about. These are very, very good clamps, and that way you make sure that they're secure, because those little spring-loaded clamps are junk. They're not worth your time. These little guys here, they don't really do anything but provide just the tiniest amount of resistance. They're no good. So these guys you put on and put over, you put your hose on, and you literally crimp this end and it'll secure this for sure. The only way to get this hose back off is by cutting it. You'll never have a leak like that. So that's why we're doing it like that. We're gonna run this new hose all the way up to the front, and that'll solve a lot of our issues. So there it is, clipped in, routed in the old original spot. Goes underneath along the frame and comes out there. Good to go. Another problem solved. So I don't think you need to see it, but I'm just gonna wrap that bottom hose there with the mat I was talking about and put this thing back together. A little washy poo. And we're done.
Yeah.
Another shop day down. We've got all sorts of other stuff going on, like we have your motorcycle.
Gonna wash that out.
That's going away for the winter. This is coming out for the summer. I already took the blower off the tractor and I got the mower deck on there. And the quads will be ready today. So yeah, this is kind of the perk to quarantine, is all this stuff just kind of gets done really fast.
Supposed to rain the next couple of days, get rid of the snow.
Not a whole lot left, just the heat's gonna get rid of it.
Yep.
We're done winter early this year, it looks like. I shouldn't say that. Next video, there's just gonna be a big snowfall. But that's it, dudes. See you later.